Good early afternoon. We are live. I'm Andy Andrews. You've joined us on the Blue Plate Special. We don't serve food here, just observations, answers, a few answers, and we have a good time. We are broadcasting from the Wisdom Harbor Studios here in the financial district of Orange Beach, Alabama. We're on the skyscraper, the second floor of the wharf. Home of the famous escalator statues. So you need to come see them. If you're in our area, need to get your picture taken with escalator statues. They look real. They're life-size. Unbelievable. Dina Kilpatrick, good afternoon, and thank you for sharing. Christy Jean Sherrill, Grammy said hey. Heather, you shared in Utah. Heather Olson, thank you. Martin Simmons, it's me, it's Ernest T. Yes, it is. Tom Henderson from Pinellas Park, Florida. Hope you guys are doing okay down there. Did it come, did it hit that far south? I'm not really sure. Marcy Carlson Taylor, beautiful Richland, Washington. Sunny and cool, only 56 this morning in Washington. Leslie Ann Tarabella, my best-selling author friend, a little sister. How are you doing? She has a book coming out really soon.
Yep, she does. Yeah, the Don't Push in Fairhope.
Don't push into Fairhope. So you gotta get that book. You can. I'm sure you can pre-order it, and if you can't,
Forgive me, I forgot the we is we don't push in Fairhope.
Oh, we don't push in Fairhope. Sandy Atkins from El Salvador. Go Gators. You're backing the Gators from El Salvador. You could have picked a better team. You know, I mean, I don't know if the word has gotten to El Salvador. The Gators are not having a good season. I'm just letting you know. By the way, Leslie Ann Tarabella is having a book launch party. This is next Tuesday, October 8th, at Page and Palette. So I'm going to be out of town and not going to be able to be there, but you should be there. You should be there. And you can get your book and get it signed. So there you go. Tia MacArthur from Clinton, Mississippi. And you have a cousin in common with Polly. Marianne Goff. I've heard of Marianne. I know Marianne. Good deal. We have a good show for you today. It's Be True or BS Day. Here we've had a lot of people commenting on this game, and we're developing it into a game for Wisdom Harbor, where we'll ask the questions, reveal the answers later, but on the Blue Plate, as we're kind of testing this thing, we're kind of doing it live, and we've got a nice studio audience here today, and so we take a poll of the studio audience after every declaration we make, and we let the studio audience vote. Is what we are, and what we just said, is that fact or fiction? Is it be true or BS? So we're going to lay out, we got 15 facts for you, 15 facts or fiction, and you get to vote. Here's one. Mahatma Gandhi. You know who Gandhi is? Gandhi was a little bitty guy who walked barefoot everywhere he went. And because of walking barefoot, he had very thick calluses on his feet. He had a very restricted diet. And so he was skinny to the point of being emaciated. And he was small anyway. And one thing that a lot of people don't know is that the diet gave him really bad breath. I mean, you can see that not be put in the biographies about him, but it gave him really bad breath. So Fact or fiction? Be true. Be true. BS. Be true. Be true. Got one BS, another BS, another BS. Everybody else in here is a be true. That's fiction. That's fiction. Because if that were true, he would have been a super calloused, fragile mystic hexed with halitosis. I'm just telling you. Have you ever seen floating specks in a sunbeam? Okay, the air that you breathe in an airport is 15% human skin. If you think that leaving the airport will save you from inhaling skin, just know that about 80% of the floating specks you see in a sunbeam are also skin. Fact? Fiction. Fiction, fiction, fact, fiction, fiction, fact, fiction from Julie, fact, fiction, fiction, fact, fiction. More fiction. Sorry, that's true. That is true. Yep, that is true. 80% of what you're seeing floating in a sunbeam is human skin. Okay, all right, you guys don't have a really good record right now. I think we're beating the house. Here we go. In the 1960s, an urban legend started that is still circling elementary schools to this day. It was said, and is still said, that if you swallow chewing gum, it takes 7 years to digest. You remember that? Obviously, as adults, we know how the body works. Therefore, we know that swallowed chewing gum passes through the intestinal tract, usually within 36 hours, giving the 7-year statement no basis in fact. However, at the University of Iowa, a team of graduate students in the chemistry lab experimented with dentine chewing gum and discovered that a chewed piece of dentine placed outside in June and exposed to summer weather will completely disappear in 127 days. Furthermore, a chewed piece of Wrigley's spearmint gum placed in an open bowl of Tabasco brand hot sauce will completely disappear in 4 days. Fact or fiction? What do we got? Come on, let's get them up, get them down. Fact, fiction, fact, fiction, fact, fiction, fact. Sorry, that's BS. I just made it up. Made it up this morning. Yep. Beating the house, man. I mean, we're beating the house. I gave Matt 3 of these the other day, and Matt punted on all 3. I mean, he missed all 3. So don't feel bad. Don't feel bad. Despite the fact that I am feeling really good. Okay. From the first time we launched a man in space, the astronauts' debriefing has included tales of its odor in space. Granted, the odor is slight, but it has now been described by more than 100 visitors to outer space. At first, and this includes Russian cosmonauts as well, the smell was described as like welding fumes or diesel fuel. Later, as female astronauts became more common, they seemed to smell a combination of barbecue and burnt meat. Despite the different olfactory perceptions of the different genders, scientists have now come to the conclusion that both are smelling the same thing. The invisible but odorous fumes are due to the highly consistent number of stars dying in our galaxy. Fact or fiction? Fiction. Fact. Fiction. fiction, fiction. Sorry, that's fact. That's a fact. I think I like this game more than I thought I would. All right. I mean, I guess this is just another way of presenting facts that people have never heard of. But it's a pretty sneaky way because you sneak some bad ones in there. Okay. Here we go. Cantaloupes and honeydews are the same fruit. A recessive gene makes the honeydew a light green instead of orange. The taste difference is due to the nitrogen used in storage to extend their life for market. A person growing both of them at home in a garden will find that despite the color difference, they taste the same. But in 1979, scientists discovered that nitrogen reduces the musky flavor in the recessive gened honeydew, giving it a sweeter taste. Fact or fiction? Fact, fiction, 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 fact, fact, fiction, fact, fiction. Okay. Yeah, that's fiction. That's fiction. You guys caught me on that. You caught me on that. Okay. All right. I got to come back now. Mosquitoes can smell which blood type you are. They're twice as likely to bite someone who is type O as opposed to type A. Fact, 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 fact. Fiction, and Sonia and Julie said fiction, but it's true. It's true. What can I tell you? See, Julie and Sonia, the reason they voted fiction on that is they know me too well. And so I have them totally discombobbled now. They don't know what to believe. Heather Olson says that's a fact. She's a buffet for mosquitoes. All right, here we go. Dannon yogurts contain live and active yogurt cultures. Streptococcus thermophilus and Lactobacillus bulgaricus. Dannon Laboratories scientists, in conjunction with Johns Hopkins University, has determined that if you play music to yogurt while it is curing, the tunes will affect its flavor. In a 2019 study that played classical, rock, country, and hip-hop to culturing vats of yogurt before the fruit is added, the hip-hop yogurt had a stronger flavor and aroma. Fact, fiction, 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 fact, fiction, 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 fact, fiction, fact, fiction, fiction, fiction. And y'all say fiction? Yeah, that's fiction. That is fiction. How about this one? Over 50% of pilots have admitted to falling asleep mid-flight. And of these pilots, 29% said that when they woke up, their co-pilot was asleep as well. Fact, fiction. Everybody over here says fact, fact. Got one fiction here. Got a couple of fictions here. Julie said fiction. No, that's true. That's true. How does that make you feel? I think every time I go to the bathroom on a plane, I may just beat on the cockpit door. Wake up in there. An Australian man won the lottery, then went on camera to reenact the winning for the news. And he bought another ticket to reenact for the winning, and he won the lottery again on camera. Fact or fiction? Fiction, fact, fiction, fact, fiction, 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 fact, fact, fiction. We seem to be evenly split here. Even Julie and Sonia are evenly split. That is true. It happened in Australia. The guy won the lottery, then they wanted him to recreate it. And so he bought another lottery ticket so he could do whatever you do, peel it, scratch it off, and won again. Oh my gosh. Okay. The loudest sound in recorded history was the Krakatoa volcanic eruption of 1883. It ruptured the eardrums of people more than 40 miles from the epicenter, created a sound wave that circled the globe 7 times and could be heard all the way to New York City, which was 10,000 miles away. Fact, 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 fact. Kind of wavering, yeah, but you give it a fact, fact. Fiction, 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 fiction. Julie and Sonia are both fiction, fiction, fiction. No, that's a fact. I got you on that. That's a fact. All right, this one you're going to have to vote fast. There's less time between Lincoln's second inauguration and Joe Biden's birth than there is between Biden's birth and his own inauguration. Everybody came up, fact, yeah, that's a fact. You believe that? Less time between Lincoln's inauguration and Biden's birth than between Biden's birth and his own inauguration. I mean, come on, you knew he was 150 years old. Tsutomu Yamaguchi was in Hiroshima on a business trip, and on the day he was supposed to leave, the atomic bomb dropped. He survived with minor injuries and returned to his home in Nagasaki, where he went to work 3 days later. As he was describing his experience to his supervisor, the second bomb was dropped, and he survived without any injuries. He ended up living into his 90s. Fact, fact, fiction, fact, fact, fact. Not sure. Fact, fact, fiction, fiction. Seems to be evenly split. That's true. Can you imagine? I mean, that guy should get with the guy in Australia and buy a lottery ticket. Good grief. For several hundred years, peaking in the 16th and 17th centuries, many Europeans, including royalty, priests, and scientists, routinely ingested human bones, blood, and fat as medicine for everything from headaches to epilepsy. There were few opponents of the practice, even though the cannibalism in the newly explored Americas was reviled, okay? Mummies were stolen from Egyptian tombs and skulls were taken from Irish burial sites. Gravediggers robbed and sold body parts. The question was not, should you eat human flesh? The question was, what sort of flesh should we eat? The answer, at first, was Egyptian mummies, which was crumbled and swallowed to stop internal bleeding. Skull was a common ingredient taken in powdered form to cure head ailments. Thomas Willis, a 17th century pioneer of brain science, brewed a drink for bleeding that mingled powdered human skull and chocolate. King Charles II of England sipped what he called the King's Drops, his personal mixture that contained human skull in alcohol. Even that toupee of moss that grew over a buried skull was used to cure nosebleeds. Human fat was used to treat the outside of the body. German doctors, for instance, prescribed bandages soaked in human fat for wounds, and rubbing fat into the skin was considered a remedy for gout. Blood was procured as fresh as possible, while it was still thought to contain the vitality of the body. This requirement made it challenging to acquire. The 16th century Germans and Swiss believed blood was good for drinking, and many even suggested taking blood from a living body. For those who preferred their blood cooked, a 1679 recipe from a Franciscan apothecary describes how to make blood into marmalade. But these were some of the customs practiced at a time when even the circulation of blood was not yet understood. Be true or BS? Got BS, BS, BS. True, BS, 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 BS. True, BS, BS, true, true, BS. BS, true, BS. That's true. All true. All true. Is that crazy? But it's all true. Okay, think about these artists. John Lennon, Elvis Costello, Jimmy Buffett, Johnny Cash, and Bob Dylan. All separately named one person as the greatest songwriter of their generation. They all said that their best songwriter was Gordon Lightfoot. Okay, fiction, 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 fiction. True, true, fiction, 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 true. Man, I got y'all on that one. That was true. That one is true. Let me tell you those names again. That is John Lennon, Elvis Costello, Jimmy Buffett, Johnny Cash, and Bob Dylan. All in separate interviews when somebody said, who is the greatest songwriter of all time? All of them said Gordon Lightfoot. And they also mentioned The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald as being a masterpiece. So, all right, here you go. Bill Gates designed and owns a 66,000 square foot mansion that overlooks Lake Washington in Medina, Washington. 60-foot swimming pool this place has with an underwater music system, a 2,500 square foot gym, and a 1,000 square foot dining room. There are 6 kitchens and 24 bathrooms in this place. Obviously, Bill Gates' house would have some technological innovations, but get this. The driveway from the main road to the house is 3.8 miles long. There is a straight stretch of driveway that is 1.4 miles long. Of that 1.4 mile stretch is a 1 mile piece that has been specially grooved. If you hit that stretch at exactly 45 miles an hour, you will notice the sound of the grooves in the road playing the song Blue Skies, which was the song that Bill Gates had hired Willie Nelson on his honeymoon to walk down the beach and find he and his wife with his guitar and just say, hey, how you doing, blue skies? So anyway, the grooves play Blue Skies. One of Gates' engineers figured out the arrangement of grooves to lay down. The distance between the grooves at 45 miles per hour causes distinct vibrations on the wheels of your car. These vibrations produce a tone that changes pitch according to that distance between the grooves. The first application of this discovery was on another stretch of private road on the same property that was designed to play Happy Birthday at 30 miles an hour. It was created for the guests arriving for Melinda Gates' 40th birthday party. BS, true, BS, be true, BS, BS, true, BS, BS, true, BS, true, BS. It's about half and half. It's BS. I made it up yesterday. Yep. That one got Matt. Made it up yesterday. All right, this is the last one. You ready? Here we go. In 1897, a book called The Wreck of the Titan was written by an author named Morgan Robertson. Robertson's story was about a very large cruise ship that was said to be unsinkable. It was named the Titan. In the book, the Titan hit an iceberg in the North Atlantic, started to sink, and was found to not have enough lifeboats for the numerous passengers to survive. The book, again, written in 1897, was published 15 years before the sinking of the Titanic in 1912. True. It's true. It's true. I just wonder how you pull that off? I mean, what wild dream in the middle of the night did somebody have to put that one down and name it Titan and have the iceberg and have it called Unsinkable? And I mean, so many things. I don't even know how you pull that off. But anyway, there you go. So that is our fact or fiction for the day, our Blue Plate special for the day. We're kind of up in the air on Thursday. I think we're doing one Thursday, but there's still a little chance of being out. So just check back with us, make sure, and we'll figure out what we're doing on that day. So pretty day outside. Man, say your prayers for those people along the coast that got hit by this hurricane. Unbelievable. This is going to last a lot longer than everybody thinks. It just takes a long time, because in a regular, with a fire or a tornado, you've got a relatively small area. But here you have tens of thousands of people all competing for 100 contractors, and half of them are crooks. And so, because the crooks come out of the woodwork at times like this. And so just getting in line for for somebody to help is just crazy. So long after this is out of the news, they will be struggling with it. So they need our help and our prayers. All right, that's it for the Blue Plate today. We'll see you Thursday, hopefully. Bye-bye.